Everybody, how are you doing? We got loads to talk about. A lot of you guys have been writing me saying, Biash, when are you going to do this again? My tea. Listen, I got to tell you something. I have to do it when I start getting hits, and sometimes I don't get hits. But, and I performed Sunday at Tommy T's with a good friend of mine, Kabir. It was a hit. I had a good time, but it caused me anxiety. I don't know why. Stand-up comedy was something I did on my bucket list with breast cancer. I did it, and I loved it, and I had a good time, and it was rockin' Sunday, but it's not really for me. I have a good time, but it's not something I'm pursuing long-term. It can be very ego-based. Some people are like the guy that asked me to do this. His name's Kabir Singh. Oh my God. He's hella funny. I'm going to get the link how you guys can get his new CD. I mean, you will die laughing. He's so funny. So anyway, sometimes not politically correct, but he's got a great sense of humor. So, okay. Thank you guys for asking if I'm okay. The earthquake, nada, didn't feel. Nothing up here. I'm in Northern California, about 400 miles away. But what's interesting is I predicted LA my girlfriend wrote me and said, on my tape, you told me you felt a big size earthquake between San Francisco and LA. So it was more or less sort of Central California. But the other place I've been feeling is north of me, like Washington or Oregon. Now, I know there was a 7.0 outside the waters of Canada going towards the Washington border. So I do feel that. And thank God that earthquake wasn't in downtown LA. I mean, it's interesting. I was in the Loma Prieta earthquake. And, but by the grace of God, it was the World Series. So a lot of people weren't on the freeway, the one that collapsed that day. It was a little quieter than normal because everybody rushed home to watch it was the Giants versus the A's. So San Francisco Giants versus the Oakland A's. But it was a shaker like you won't believe. Because I remember not feeling, I wasn't able to run for safety or anything. My mother was rheumatoid arthritis and crippled, and I worried about getting to her. And I remember I couldn't move fast enough. So it's a weird feeling. But I don't know why I'm not frightened of it. What killed a lot of people back in the day was fires. So anyway, so that earthquake was something. I was a nurse at the time at the Alameda County Hospital. And I know there was a doctor, a surgeon had to go into that freeway and get inside a car and help basically cut a mother in half to be able to get the little boy out. And I know at the time I was doing an oral rotation, and he just couldn't have the TV on. He couldn't listen to it. So anyway, so enough of that. But since we're talking about earthquakes, just listen, normally I get the ears ringing. I didn't even get that. But like with Japan, maybe because of the deaths, but I felt that one. I felt it before it happened. This one, not so much. So maybe there wasn't going to be enough deaths related. Well, there was actually no deaths. I think one person got hurt. So tell me, if you can, what I can tell everybody about a future earthquake. There was a little earthquake in Texas today, and I know my cousins in Oklahoma go through earthquakes all the time due to fracking. We have a lot to talk about, you guys. Earthquake. It's hard. So there will be changes due to earthquakes. Changes in the energy. What are you telling me? October. The October, November, there may be a legitimate size one coming to California. Because that's what I was thinking when I was throwing it. Can you tell me about earthquakes? But I'm not seeing the tower and a bunch of swords. So, you know, out here, if you live in a wooden house, you tend to be better than most. It's and I have a fireplace. It's fireplaces that collapse and hurt people. Okay, so real quick, I did earthquakes. Now, real quick, I want to do Swalwell. I'm going to tell you something. Remember, I kept feeling like he may be president. There was something, when I saw his face, I said, that's somebody. And I told you guys, I don't know, I just have this feeling about Swalwell. I felt really good about him. So when he stepped down and said, which I'm glad he did, because white hold all the oxygen, I asked my guys, I said, well, why did you point me in that direction? What was it? And it was funny because they do this a lot to me. It's like, well, you know, he will be president. He will be president. But I saw his girls older. I saw him taking the oath and standing. So he's got a lot of things he's going to do as not being president and then being a bigwig in Washington. So he will make some things happen. And what he's doing now is more important than running for president. But I saw that, you know, he has a baby now. I saw his kids older. I think he might even have one more. He might have 3 kids total. Okay. That tea feels good. And lots of times when I think of tea, it's because I'm going to talk to you guys. I'm like, okay, let me have a cup of tea. Okay, so you guys have been hitting me up. So everybody wants to know about Epstein. That's the highest number of things I'm getting. Epstein, Maxwell, and Acosta. Okay, so that's 3 birds we need to cover. Epstein is in jail. Now, I don't know if you saw, but Trump is saying him and those two had a falling out 14, 15 years ago. He didn't like what he was doing, so he says. But I, honest to God, believe he was in on it. I believe Trump did those things that these girls said he was doing. There's some witness there that says they saw Trump going room to room. I think he was part of it. Okay, so let's take a look. And even Clinton may be, I don't know, but I can look at that. Epstein. So what's going to happen to Epstein? Are they going to let him have, I heard no. They're not going to let him have bond. They're going to hold him. Ooh, and listen, with Trump coming out with this whatever, because, you know, Epstein could have even thought, oh, maybe I'll get pardoned. But if Trump is talking smack about him, maybe he's going to give up the information. So let's look at Epstein. Do you have, because remember, a lot of the reason why Trump was going to fall and not be popular again was because of laundering money and human trafficking. And I was always looking at the border. Maybe it's human trafficking with these young girls. He was part of that. What can I tell? I almost feel like they did get in a fight, but it has something to do with a family member. So, I don't know. I just felt that. Okay, so tell me what I can tell everybody about Epstein. I'm feeling like he won't be granted bail. I really do. Because he's offering to pay big time. You know, what do you need for my bond? But they know that he can leave. I see this judge reviewing the case and saying there's just too much here. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay. Ooh, he's in jail. Oh. He's going to be stuck in jail. Ooh. Justice is after him, and he's just sitting there behind bars. Okay, shush. Actually, this might cost him a lot of money because it shows him worried about money. Okay, so let's look and see. It's part of the plan. What does that mean? He's part of something bigger. So is it because he... Are a lot of people going down because of him? Hold on. There's a buzzing noise from the people doing their lawn, but I just heard because there's a lot of people who will be coming up to justice. So he just may decide to go ahead and rat fink and just lay it out. Someone had said on Twitter that they wouldn't be surprised if someone tried to snuff him. I didn't see that. I could see what they were talking about because they know he has too much information. He actually used this stuff of all this information he has on these girls against these big political people. Ooh, Prince Andrew is one of them. Okay, so let's focus on the only person we're worried about. Will he turn in Trump? Will he have, ooh, I'm getting a lot of hits, you guys. I would think there's videos or there's something to do with photographs. He was looking out for himself. Okay, hold on, sweetheart. Let me just do this. I got a dog wanting to go outside and I closed the door because of the noises. Will he turn on Trump? Ooh. Yeah, and Russia's trying to stop him. Yes, he'll turn on Trump. And that woman, is there a woman that's involved with this guy, Epstein? There's a woman involved that might even just start squealing. It's weird. She's got a lot of information too. So everything is going to be blown up. This is deeper and darker. But listen, I think this whole thing with young girls and even young boys has been going on since Benjamin Franklin was around. I think there's always these private, secretive places that have these things, even in the UK, that have these things for, and Russia eats up on this because Russia does it more because they want to hold the people that in their pocket. Like, I wouldn't doubt if Lindsey Graham, they have something on Lindsey Graham. Okay, so tell me, okay, so Acosta, they're asking for him to leave. Of course, Trump's going to stand up with him because Trump stands up for every sexual predator. Kavanaugh, all of them. Oh, but they're real good guys. They're real good guys. So of course he's not going to. He's acting like the Epstein thing is a bunch, like he's separating himself from that. But what's going to happen is Epstein's going to turn on Trump. Because when I heard it, I thought, aha. Because when I was getting ready to start the video with you guys, I have to break down, wash my face, and brush my hair, I actually could see that Epstein and whoever this Maxwell is turning on Trump. Well, guess what, sucker? We'll bring you down. If I'm going down, you're going down with me. He's not a very nice man, this Epstein guy. He acts very loving towards these girls, and he's a predator. Okay, so what do I tell Acosta? He's weird looking, huh? Him and Mueller, Stephen Mueller could be brothers or cousins. Acosta knows he did wrong. Okay, so. Yeah, when all the other stuff starts coming, when all the shit starts hitting the fan, excuse my language, but when everything starts happening, Acosta's going down, but right now he's stable. Right now he's stable. He's standing behind the skirt of Trump. So yeah, right now, but it's a lot of pressure on him right now. There's a lot of people talking trash about him, so good. Okay, so now, I love this New York. They're really good. They're getting some stuff, my friends. They're getting some stuff. So I want to ask real quick about the, I think I talked about it in my last one. I want to ask about the census and Trump turning against the Supreme Court. It's interesting if they don't do it the way he likes. Now, as you know, they're bringing up the Obama thing. They're going to a lower court. And if the lower court, however they say, if they say, yeah, because you've removed taxes from it, it's no longer this, so yeah, you can get rid of it, it'll still go to the Supreme Court. And if it goes to the Supreme Court and they say, yeah, let's get rid of Obamacare, then he won't fight it, right? He's going to say, yeah, Supreme Court made a wise decision. But because they decided against him on the census because he was blatantly lying, oh, yeah, well, and Barr too. Yeah, they don't know what they're doing. So what's going to happen with this census thing? What's going to happen with this census thing? And here's the other thing. He's going to piss off the Supreme Court. If he's going to treat them like their opinion doesn't matter, what it's going to do, and he's so stupid, he doesn't. I think he might have heard this from some people trying to advise him, but what'll happen is then they'll work against him. They'll definitely take the higher road, like for the Obamacare, and they'll definitely vote against him and let him keep saying, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. What's going to happen with the census statement? I see America in general, even if they were to put it on there, not answer it. Better not to answer it, and you don't have to. That's what the census takers are saying. You don't have to answer it. So they'll just take up that route. Well, but will they actually put it on there? Will they put it on the census? Here's them negotiating. Here's the judgment. This is gonna, they might do it against the Supreme Court, because I still see him trying to appease somebody and them saying no again. And Trump may call executive privilege, but it doesn't matter because most people aren't going to answer it. Because he's doing it for underhanded reasons. And then they'll take this and go back to the Supreme Court. I don't know what this means, but it's like they're going to use this against Trump when they bring in something about him. But it's disappointment here. So this kind of disappointment, and it's the judgment disappointment. So it's like he's not listening to the word of the they're handing over something, and he's slapping it out of their hands and saying no. So okay. Census may end up being on there. I felt like they were going to vote against it, and I was right, but Trump may vote against them. Tom Steyer just came out. Tom Steyer, another billionaire, but he's been working a lot against Trump. Tom, do you have any chance? Tom Steyer. I could see his face as clear as day. I gave money towards the impeach Trump. As you can see now, he's not impeached. But don't worry, Trump is going down. He's going down. Tell me about Tom Steyer. Does he have a chance in winning as president of the United States? Somebody just said yes. Ooh. Okay. I don't know if he'll win, but I feel like he has a chance. He has some success, you guys. I don't think the big ticket is here, though. I don't think the big ticket is there because he's going to pour a lot of money into this. People are like looking at him going, I don't know. It's the fact that he has money is what bothers people. But he really wants Trump out of there. So he may even give a lot of money to whoever he doesn't win, and he'll hand it over to whoever he thinks will win, just to make sure. He's going to give a lot to the other stuff that's going on. That Russia will be supporting in places like, we'll look at this, Amy McGrath. Amy McGrath is going to run against McConnell, and people are sort of laughing because they're saying that Trump took 30% with Kentucky. Somebody just said no, he didn't. I'm telling you, they're going to find out that Trump was brought in by Russia. He's an illegitimate president. Okay, Amy, do you have any chance running against McConnell? So yeah, she's going to get a lot of money. I'll put money too, but she's going to get a lot of money. And McConnell is like, his ratings are so low. But because people love Trump, they think McConnell will win? Let's see. No. Okay, thank you. Is Amy going to be able to beat McConnell, the Turtle Master? Is Amy going to be able to beat McConnell? I just heard yes. Okay, so there's a lot of drama here. A lot of underhandedness. Here's the money coming in. Hello. Hello. She's handed it. It's handed over to her. Jesus, I can't believe she's going to win. Trump's going to viciously work against her. Yeah, McConnell was on the news. Oh, yeah, I enjoy a good... You know, I've run up against a couple of people in my day. He's really thinking he's all that in a cup of tea, but it's going to turn against him. It doesn't start off looking too good, which is interesting. But then it works out. Yes, I'm going to tell you right now, she's going to win. Thank you. Remember I told you McConnell was going to lose. Now, Lindsey Graham, I'll look at him another time, but I get in and out with him. I don't know. He might still be there, but he has no voice because he's outnumbered. Okay, so Amy is going to win. Now, a bunch of the lawyers for the Department of Justice have just left. And somebody on one of the news stations said, well, you can't say your boss told you to do something that you know was illegal. It's like, so once the Supreme Court made a decision, they can't be fighting it because it looks illegal. So a whole list, if you go to Twitter, there's a whole list of people that are leaving. Tell me about the withdrawal of the lawyers at the DOJ. So there's people that have to look after their reputation, and this is actually an upset for the DOJ. Barr's in a bad mood. I remember every time I looked at Barr, it was nothing but swords. So something's coming up with Barr. I don't feel he's healthy at all, too. Okay, withdrawal of lawyers at DOJ. They're acting like there's a nothing burger here. I can't even stand to see that Kellyanne. Ooh, yeah. Hello. This is changing. More people are going to leave. Ooh. Starts off with the Two of Swords and the demon, the unhealthy nature of this whole thing. The endings. I think that the SCOTUS is going to stay with what they say that should happen. I think that this is going to really, really... we're going to be okay, you guys. We're going to be celebrating. So those lawyers leaving is actually good. Now, they'll get some underhanded people that'll do anything just to be able to be part of this gig. But they're not going to be successful. I think Trump is going to try to pull a whammy and say, well, I've decided executive order, and that is a big mistake. He's making a huge mistake, you guys. Thou shall not piss off the Supreme Court. Even Kavanaugh will be upset with Trump for doing this. Because, Trump was having Roberts over. He thought, oh, I'll put my people in there. But they're not working for him. They're working for, Barr is working for him. And I see somebody saying something really scathing. That's a big wig, but it's a female. And I see her saying something real scathing about all of this. Okay, you guys. Now, douche bank. I know it's Deutsche Bank, but I call it douche bank. But douche bank is closing a lot of things. They're getting ready to. And listen, I'm going to tell you, this stock market, I don't care who you are. The stock market's going to be, by the end of this year, we're going into some trouble. It's barely rumbling now, but trust me. Douche bank. And they're releasing information. I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff going on that we're not privy to yet. But this is what I saw, and I wanted to tell you guys. I saw like that press room or that breaking news, and people are waiting for something that they're hearing. So that's getting ready to happen. So Douche Bank is getting ready to cut $6 billion, I think. They're going to end up laying off a lot of people. Yeah, because they have a lot of trouble on their plate. Yeah. In fact, they got another big... They're being looked at in the world as kind of useless. They're melting. They're slowly but surely melting. They're coming up with some new ideas with what holdings they do have, but it feels like they're in worse trouble than you think. It definitely shows it's sad news. Ten of Swords, one thing after the other. Okay, well, they did part of it to themselves, but it's like out of the blue, they're going to get hit and hit and hit. Okay, so don't forget we got our guy coming on the 17th. I got all my clients changed. And people are like, Linda, what do you think? Now, I'm not saying it's a nothing burger, but I feel that I always saw him testifying to Congress. And I always felt when he testified to Congress, that's when things start really changing. Not even this Epstein thing is changing things. Or not even Trump saying he's not going to listen to the Supreme Court. Oh, but they're saying he went at one point on the people liking him. He went from 43 to, oh, he's jumped 1 point. And part of me feels like it's worse than what you think. I mean, this is what should help you. Look at the 2018. Look what happened. Unprecedented. So many people got in where he stood and said, if you vote for a Democrat, you're going to lose your health care. If you vote for a Democrat, they're going to impeach me. And guess who won? The Democrats, hands down. And they want me to tell you that the Democrats will take in there's some bad Democrats, though. Somebody just told me that. There's some bad ones, too, that they're going to have to be filtered out. But in the Senate, I see Democrats. I definitely see Democrats. So Mueller is coming up on the 17th. They got a private meeting, which I think more will be said. And then they've got the one where it's going to work against them, where that Jim Jordan or whatever, the guy that likes little boys or witnesses molestation and didn't report it. What can we tell everybody on Mueller? What will he present to the table? I've thrown on this till I'm blue in the face. I'll be looking forward, and I'm sure he's looking forward to this to be all over with. Trump is just going to try to cause some drama. Trump is talking out his ass. As prophesized. Hello. In the hopes, dreams, and wishes. So, So we're going to love him more after this. But it's like we might think it's not going to happen, or we're going to be sitting up in bed worried about this, but it shows Trump trying to throw something into this. But he doesn't succeed because our wish comes true, and we're toasting cups. And the information he gives is, even though it's just, sort of plain, same thing, different day, because he's saying it, it's better. His interpretation will be brought up, and we're going to go, yes, yes. Oh, my God. I'm so excited. So, you guys, things are happening, okay? Okay? And thank you guys so much for worrying about me with the earthquakes. When I went through the Loma Prieta earthquake, when I got home, I was at my parents' house to watch the World Series. And I got home. I had to show up at my hospital, but believe it or not, we didn't have that many people come in because the ones that died were in the freeway thing. So, there wasn't that many that came to us. But anyway, so I went home. And I screamed when I walked in the door. But then I remembered that's how I left everything, because it was a mess. So that was my messy days. When you're working as a nurse, 24-hour shifts, you know, I would work 16 hours, go back 8 hours, come back and work another 16. Those were the days. I had some good times. So anyway, so I'll let you guys go, and I shall talk to you. Well, we're going to have a lot more to talk about. I'll just allow them to tell me when to talk to you. Namaste. Oh, I better not say that because I get hit with how I pronounce it. Ciao.